Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24. Creative Team Career here on the PC with Cadillac. Tonight it's the penultimate round of our final season. It's round 23 and we are heading to Bahrain to potentially win the Drivers' World Championship. Hello, so here we are then, ready for Bahrain. It's the final, not the final, it's the penultimate Grand Prix. It's one more round to go, that's tomorrow. We are already wrapped up as Constructors' Champions, and we now have a 38-point lead over Oscar Piastri with 38 points remaining in the championship. There is no way that we can finish level on points and still win the title, as Oscar has more wins than us. We have 7 wins with Max, Oscar has 8. So if by some weird coincidence we do finish level on points, the only way that's going to happen is for Oscar to qualify on pole, take the win and the fastest lap tonight, and then do the same again tomorrow with Max scoring no points in return, in which case they'll be level on points and Oscar will have 10 wins against Max's 7. So he will absolutely win the title on a head-to-head win countback. So all we need to do is score one single point. That's all we need to do. We've got 2 races to do it. So we could do that just by qualifying on pole position for either of the 2 Grand Prix, or taking the fastest lap in either of the 2 Grand Prix, or just finishing 11th in one of the 2 Grand Prix. That's all we need to do. So the championship is as good as ours, but you can never say never, can you? We've had some weird moments this year. So it's not a guarantee. Absolutely not, unfortunately. Let's check in with the chat. We've got Daniel here, Dino, Army. We've got Nexus here as well. Good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who is lurking in the chat as well. As always, please do feel free to say hello. If you've got any questions, please do ask away. Let's see. Army's got a new laptop. Oh, good. How are you finding it? Good specs? Are you happy with it? Let's see. See the regulations 26 is updated. I had a look to see if there were any updates about half an hour ago, and the website's down, or at least it was. Let me check now, see if it's come back up. I was getting a Cloudflare error. Blah, 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 blah. Cloudflare error. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming back, returning an unknown error. The browser's working, Cloudflare's working, but Overtake as the host has got an error. So I can't actually log in to see that, unfortunately, which is a little bit frustrating. Right. Yeah, we just need that one single point, don't we? We know that the problem that's being flashed up here is the ERS on Norris's car. We are still having a fight on our hands with Norris and Oscar. As you can see, there's just 2 points between the 2 of them. And I would really like to be able to get Norris to finish second in this championship ahead of Oscar. So given that we don't need much with Max, just need that one single point, we are going to try and get Norris the backing of the team. So if it comes down to a lack of parts going into the final Grand Prix, then we will favour Norris to try and make sure that he outscores Oscar in these last 2 races. Right. Targets then for tonight. 5th place for Max, 9th place for Lando, and off we go to Bahrain.
Welcome along to another exciting weekend of F1 action. Taking a look at the top of the constructors' standings, we've got a team that's starting to pull away.
Stay with us then, as the weekend gets underway.
Nexus, you've parted way with S33. That's a shame, but I mean, I suppose I know you've got a lot of irons in the fire with other projects that you're working on, and so you can only put those on hold for so long. So I understand. That's fair enough. Right, we need to get ourselves prepped for this Grand Prix. We'll stick with this ERS, I think, for practice. Yes. Engine, we need to save that engine as best we can. We'll put the 23% in, and then what are we looking like gearbox wise? 25% it is. There we go. Setup, we're going to go with let's see, let's go with a 5.11.5, a 6.4, a 3.35, and let's go with the 0.6. There we go. That's my starting setup for this car. We'll go with something a little different for Max, as we always do. So engine, we'll go with the 39%. There we go. ERS, we'll go with 23. Yeah, we could have gone through this season without having to buy that extra ERS in the end. I didn't think we would be able to make it, but it is what it is, I suppose. And then still want to keep the 49 as a backup gearbox just in case something happens here. So we'll use the 22% here in practice. There we go. Setup, slightly different. We'll go with a 4.5. We'll go with an 11. We'll go with a 7.3. And then we'll go with a 3.25. And a 0.25. There we go. Run plan, it's normally 17 laps if you want to do 2 runs. 15 laps hopefully will be enough just to get the feedback. So we'll leave it at that. Let's do the settings here as well. There we go. The email yesterday did say that it could be considered cold here today. So we might have to push the tyres in the Grand Prix just to keep the temperature in them. Oh, my game's frozen and crashed. Lovely stuff. All right. Well, we will reboot and get back underway again. But because that was the very first bit of the day, we're going to have to redo everything from scratch. We're going to have to reset the targets. We're going to have to rechange all those parts to put the setups back on and everything. There we go. Back here at HQ. So 5th and 9th. There we go. Oh, dear. Any excuse to skip Crofty. There we go. So, car parts, once again. Let's quickly swap those over. Go to 51, why not? And gearbox. Again, we'll go with that 22. There we go. So, setup. So we went 4.5, didn't we? 4.5, 11, 7.3, 3.25, and a 0.25. There we go. 15 laps. Drop the pace settings down. These two setups are the ones I always use at this circuit as a starting setup. There's a good chance that one of them will be very, very close to being right, if not actually right. Stick with that ERS and then that gearbox. There we go. And then for the setup, 5, 11, 5, 6, 4, 3.35, and 3.6, didn't we? There we go. Let's drop those down. And off we go, and don't crash this time. Hey, there we go. Fantastic. So let's send the boys out. So all that needs to happen for Max to win is Oscar not getting pole. Yeah, I don't even need to score the point myself. The only way I need to score that point is basically I just need Oscar to not score maximum points.
Good for me too.
So if Oscar doesn't put it on pole, we're the champions.
Ready, check.
But if we score a point, then it doesn't matter what Oscar does. You know, he can grand slam the next 2 Grand Prix to his heart's content. All we need is to score 1 point.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
There we go. And we do have that new special livery, homemade in-game livery for tomorrow. Homecoming at Kota. And it's been a while, Nexus. I don't know if you've seen, we've changed up some of the teams slightly for the end of the season, the end of the series. So we put Jordan in to replace Honda. We've put the Rothmans Williams in. We've put in the 2006 Renault to replace HiTech. And we've changed the Ferrari livery. And we're running the Marlboro McLaren as opposed to the Vodafone McLaren.
The tyres?
Any word from Kevin on when we're getting an update on 2013?
And try to keep the temperature.
Yeah, I was on overtake earlier today looking to see if anything new had dropped, and it was still the most recent thing was that McLaren reskin. And then, let's say, about an hour ago, I jumped on just to see if anything new had dropped before I went live, and the site was down. And still is down. Or at least it is for me, anyway. There he is. One hand on the trophy. We've got a great feedback rating. That could be anything up to 97%.
Copy that.
And it's 87%. That's not too bad. We will call Max in.
Update when you can.
And 85 for Norris. I wonder if we've got the right setups on the wrong cars. Let's call him in. And let's take a little look-see, shall we? All right. So, no, the rear wing is good on that one. This needs to change. It could go to an 8.2, but I'm more likely to think it's going to be a 6.4. It's probably going to be a 7.3 on the other car. I've probably got the roll bars the wrong way around. 87%. Yeah, that one change may do it, or at least get it a lot closer.
Land Philly.
We'll send him back out again
And
and have a look.
on. And stop on the marks.
Let's just pan the camera back down a little bit so you're not staring at my lovely shiny forehead. There we go. It will also track, so it might just keep changing its position. Let's have a look at Norris's car. Okay, so this one's going to be an 11 as well. Let's leave that at a... no, let's take that down. And let's bring this in a bit. Alright, let's try that. Didn't wear anything particularly special for Star Wars Day this year. I have spent the weekend burning through the Clone Wars animation on Disney Plus, but I am wearing my I don't know if I'll be able to show you this, but without the camera panning away from it. Manual control. I've got my Jawa shirt on. Alright, and now that I've turned off the manual controls, let's turn them back on again. Gesture control can be a bit finicky at times. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, there's no real plan to wear this particular shirt today. It's just I looked in the drawer and realised I didn't have many clean t-shirts left, so I put a load of washing in, and that's drying on the rack downstairs. Right, out they go again.
Can you check the temperature?
I could, but I'm not gonna. We have this discussion every week.
We need to work on the tires.
Max.
Keep the temperature on the tires.
Yeah, I've been burning through some Star Wars content. I mean, I kind of got. I've been watching the new Maul Shadow Lord series that's dropped on Disney Plus, and it's really good. Really, really good. One of my favourite characters is Darth Maul, so really pleased to see him back. And yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you really should. It's the ending of the series. Season 1 is epic. And that got me sort of into the mood to rewatch the animated stuff. So burning through Clone Wars, I'm on to Season 5 already. And then I've got the Bad Batch and Rebels as well.
Any comments though?
The car is amazing.
Right, Max is happier, so that's 97 plus. It's 97. What about Lando? 92. A little bit more work needed on that, but we're getting closer. Let's pull them both in.
Keep speed limiter on. and stop on the marks.
Wing. Okay, that might go down to a 4. We'll try that. Let's push that back up, and we'll go with that. And, okay, that could be a 5.5. We would need to shift everything else a fair bit, though. Let's try it. That would get that a little bit more accurate. It would certainly fix the front wing without changing the rear wing. We'll try that. So, there we go. Setup confirmed. We'll try that in the next session. We're not going to run now anymore in FP1. So we'll speed time up and let them do their thing. Oh, I've started. Well, I say started. I made a start on Sunday evening, Monday morning to learn how to use Blender and try and make a 3D model of the Ferrari 641. Haven't got very far. I haven't tried again since, but I am trying to carve out some time here and there to try and get my head around how Blender works and try and build an F1 car. I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but I'm all for giving it a go. I'm watching some sort of watch-along videos to learn how to use Blender. So if I pick it up really quickly, then I will be able to start making some mods for you to put some liveries onto. Alright, we've got a penalty for Mini going into this Grand Prix. No one else has a penalty yet. That is the end of FP1. We'll take a quick ad break and then we'll be back for FP2 and FP3. Alright then, FP2. Again, we'll just go with the 15 laps. That seems to be more than enough fuel just to get the feedback, which is all we're really looking for at this stage. We will, of course, do our pace settings. There we go, and let's hit the track.
Green light.
One of the Minardis sneaking out in front of us there. Corner Rolly. Plugins will be my best friend. Well, once I've figured out how everything kind of works on a consistent basis, I'm going to try and bind some keystrokes to my Stream Deck so that I can, access certain commands at a press of a button rather than having to remember which key it is. I can just have a specific button on the pad. Another optimal for Max, which means we're probably at 100%. Let's have a look. Yes, there we go, 100%, and he's at 51% prep, which means Max is now done for the weekend in practice. He is ready for quali, so we'll call him in.
Update when you can.
We've got an optimal for Norris. Oh, he's at 97.
Copy that.
Close. It's very close. Let's take a little look. Front wing. Could that be a 5.5? Might be. Some of those damned if I do, damned if I don't moments again. We'll try that. We'll try a 5.5 on the front wing. It's not that common to have a 5.5, but it does sometimes go there. And there we go. Nailed. 100% prep for Max, so he doesn't need to run again. We'll send Norris out just for a few laps to get that feedback in, and then that'll be it for Norris. One way or another, he'll be fully prepped, either with a 97% setup or with a 100% setup, because we'll just roll back if we get this wrong and leave it at that. I'm going to be a bit sparing now with Norris's parts, because, yeah, they're starting to look a little ropey. Bearman with a bit of pace today. And as soon as I click on him, he goes into the pits. Thank you very much, Ollie. And Lindblad's in the pits as well. Finish this. Another little check of overtake while we're waiting. Still down. Done with feedback for Lando. Oh, it's great. So we've gone the wrong way.
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
Yeah, copy. And box, this one box, speed confirmed.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, once again, I'm just looking at the overall fitted performance. Our cars are ranked 9th and 10th at the moment. Williams 1 and 2, Ford 3, 4, Ferrari 5, 6, Audi 7, 8, then us, then McLaren. It's all very close as well. Aston in, well, that's Jordan. 13th and 14th. Mercedes are still ranked at the bottom, which I find really, really strange to see them so far off. Looking at the performance breakdowns, Audi have got the top speed from Toyota and McLaren. In fact, let's bring that up for you guys. Let's have a look. There we go. So, yeah, as you can see, it is Audi, Toyota, McLaren, Williams, then us in terms of speed. Acceleration, it's Ferrari, Ford, and Audi. Ford, Ferrari, and Williams in the low speed. There's us in fourth. Medium speed, Ford, Ferrari, and HiTech. Williams, HiTech, and Ferrari. There's Ford. We're down here in 9th and 8th on those. Our DRS is down in 8th. Again, good dirty air, but that's not really going to help us too much around this circuit. Tyre wear's strong still. Ford is still quite a way off us. But, yeah, it's looking pretty good for us. Right. Right, so that has to go to a 4.5 then, doesn't it? Which means that has to go up to a 3.5. And bring that back up to there. Maybe a 3.45. Let's just revert. Get back to where it was at its absolute peak. There we go. And then let's take that down. Let's bring that back up. And then push that back. It's one of those damned if I do, damned if I don't moments, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go to there. Okay. So, we'll run an untested setup for Norris. We are done ourselves with practice now. No more running needed. So, at the end of the session, we'll put all the good stuff back in the car. So we can just go straight through Q3, straight into qualifying. Let's close that bit down so I don't accidentally send them back out again. So I have done that on more than one occasion. A little bit of an issue developing for Colapinto. Any audio?
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Hush, Crofty. Alright, there we go. Done with FP2. Skip straight into keep calling it Q, into P3. Let's change out those engine parts then. So we want best engine available. We'll switch the ERS to the 92. Pay for it, we may as well use it. And we'll go with the 67 gearbox. There we go. And then moving over to Lando. Best engine is a 68. Not ideal, but could have been worse. ERS, it's a 45. That's going to be problematic for the next Grand Prix. And then a 68 gearbox. Should be fine. Right. Into practice 3. I do need to send them out for one lap on these tyres and then call them straight back in again.
So now we have green light.
Just to make sure that we use the second set of mediums. We want softs. Softs are going to be our friend here. Give it to us. And there we go. That's it. We are done with practice. Getting a bit scruffy, need a bit of a trim. Probably break out the clippers at some point over the weekend, just try and smooth things out a little bit. Halfway through the session. Let's take a quick look at the times, see who's looking particularly pacey. Schumacher is currently sitting at the top. It is nice to see the Ferrari have finally come good. It's just a shame it took them most of the season to do it. It could have been so different for Kimi. But having said that, I don't think he would have done any better if he'd stayed, if we kept him at Mercedes. Considering they're now comfortably the worst car on the grid. Yeah, they really have struggled this year. So, it could have been worse. I don't know if Kimi's won a race yet this year in the Ferrari. I think he's won a sprint. I know he's been on the podium, but I think he's got to win. Check the editor. Check the records. Let's have a look. Standings. Let's see. Kimi. Oh yeah, he won in China, didn't he? He won the Grand Prix in China. Got the fastest lap as well. No, qualified on pole. It was Max who got the fastest lap. That's his one win of the year, and no, he has not won a sprint, but he was second in Japan, second in Miami, finished second in the sprint in Abu Dhabi, won the Grand Prix in China, and was third in Monaco. So yeah, he's been on the times 4 times in total this season. 2 seconds, a third, and a win. And then that second in the sprint as well. That's his best sprint result. And that is it for practice. Let's see if anyone else has picked up any penalties. Not yet. Still just showing Mini as the only one with a penalty. So, practice is done. Next up is qualifying.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Bahrain's track is dusty and abrasive, and even under the floodlights, qualifying is tough on soft tyres. Teams will need to use their tyre allocations wisely.
We're trying out our own variation of the six-wheel Tyrrell there.
Just talking about that man there, Max Verstappen. How do you think he'll be feeling today?
I'll say this, it's always a pleasure seeing a confident
driver
take
that
to the
visual
track.
glitch.
Being in the right frame of mind is a real advantage.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
All right, we are prepped to go straight into qualifying, so let's do just that.
Green light.
Lando. Just leave it a second. And now we'll send out Max. Yeah. Oscar needs pole position. He needs to grand slam the next 2 Grand Prix and us not to score a single point.
Yep.
So he needs pole, fastest lap, and the win. Both tonight and tomorrow.
Brake warming reminder.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we could be really, really cheeky, and we could just box Max like 3 laps to go, put on a new set of tyres, take the fastest lap and win it that way. But, you know, we want to try and do it the proper way. We want to try and win on track as well as,
So you're in a good
you know,
position.
in the standings. I mean, if we can win tonight, we will tie up to 8 wins apiece with Oscar. And then if we can win in the next Grand Prix as well, we'll actually outwin, you know, Oscar in terms of, or outscore Oscar in terms of victories as well, which would be nice. Let's see, Porsche and Colapinto are out on track. Let's switch our attention to Norris as we get ready to start his lap. Just to keep an eye on whether we get traffic into turn 1. One of the Audis coming out. Jack Doohan making his way onto the track.
Start the lap. Okay, gap is good. Good to go.
So he's going to be safely through. One of the Jordans coming out. That's Yuki Tsunoda. And the other Williams, under the Alex Albon, I think. Past both of those guys. Yeah, what's Albon coming out the pit lane? There he is. It's Norris, as he's going to be off to the back of Doohan soon. Pretty good for a sector compared to Verstappen. He's up 3/10. Easily past Doohan. Into turn 11. Climbing up and sweeping through 12 into the second split. Turn 13. And then we just have the double right-hander. 14 and 15 to go. Max coming up to the splits. He's down another couple of tenths. He's down half a second to Norris at the moment here. It's not tyre temps. .4 for Lando Norris. Yeah, half a second ahead of Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Oscar is out on track. Who's that warming up behind him? One of the Toyotas. That'll be Liam Lawson. Oh, yeah, that reminds me as well. From the weekend, Lawson pulling over to let Max through. Did not agree with that at all. Really don't like to see Red Bull exploiting that 2-team advantage they have in that way. Colapinto goes top by 0.06 of a second. Evening Wayne. Jack Doohan is purple in the first sector with a 27.2. Oh, a bit of traffic here for Oscar. Oh, that was clunky. That was very clunky. Middle sector could be affected. Right, Doohan across the line. Goes top by a little over a tenth.
Speed limiter on, please.
Albon's not had the best middle sector, but Tsunoda had a shocker of a first sector, so There's a purple middle sector for Oscar, so it was
So
clunky
limits
going
over the
into turn
on-ramp.
10, but he's still
Stop on the marks.
set a purple middle sector. Albon is up to P5. Sonoda is 2.5 seconds off the pace. Here comes Oscar Piastri. Is he looking quick? He goes top by 0.07 of a second. We have a yellow flag. Was that a mistake for Leclerc? It was.
Now we're at turn 11 now. Very heavy on the brakes. By that point, it was just too late.
What's my favourite driver and favourite team? I don't really have a favourite team. I've followed quite. I've supported a lot of the teams over the years. I've always been a fan of Williams. You know, British constructor. Similar story for McLaren. I've always kind of liked McLaren. I've always had a soft spot for Ferrari. I respect what Mercedes have done. I wouldn't say that I've been a fan of Mercedes, but I've enjoyed watching them. Have not really enjoyed watching Renault / Alpine. Red Bull, I have appreciated what they've done, but I've never really been a Red Bull fan. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Sauber, just given, you know, the origins of that team when they started in the 90s. They were the first team in Formula One, actually, to have Red Bull branding on their cars before Red Bull bought out Jaguar and Minardi. They were title sponsors, or you know, a big, you know, on the car sponsor for Sauber for several years. Here comes Kimi. Everyone had a soft spot for Minardi. Well, I mean, I've never really considered myself as having a soft spot for Minardi. Although I was really pleased for them when Webber, was it Webber? Or was it Ricardo? Got a point. I think it was Webber. Got a point for them at Australia. It's got to be Webber, because that's back before they changed the point system, I think. Oh, Lindblad looking quick. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Renault as such. I mean, I quite liked Benetton in the early years of Benetton, but I mean, that team has just had this history of doing very dodgy things. You know, taking the rules way past bending point to the point where they've absolutely shattered them on multiple occasions. Plus their association, their long-running association with Flavio Briatore, who is just a crook, basically. Gasly putting in a quick lap here. Putting in a very quick lap. There we go. He's 0.2 quicker than Oscar Piastri. Although, having said that, 11 minutes have gone by in the session, so the track will definitely have evolved a little bit. Let's see what Ollie Bearman can do. George Russell just behind. There he is. He's actually down a couple of tenths at the moment. Down 4 tenths to Ollie Bearman. Bearman goes up to third. He looked quick in practice and he's jumped all the way up into third place. George Russell good enough for 10th. I think I am going to have to run Max again, you know. Prep Norris as well, just in case. Let's get Max out now while the track is relatively quiet. Sainz and Mini having a run. Leclerc is looking to improve after a terrible first run. And he goes to P4. Sainz is tucked in behind Mini. Looks like he has had a bit of the worst of it with dirty air, or maybe just not quite cleanly getting through some traffic. I think it's dirty air more than anything. Mini up by 0.7 of a second. Across the line. Mini goes to P5. It's only P16 for Sainz. And Norris as well, just to be on the safe side. Because he's starting to slip down a little bit as well, down to 9th place. All we need to do is make sure we get into Q3.
So you're in a good position.
A couple more cars coming out now. Schumacher, Lindblad, Sonoda. Also on outlaps. There is Lawson heading back out again.
You are good to go.
Welcome back, Nexus. We've got a Minardi into the turn ahead of us. That's Fornaroli. Oh, god damn you, Fornaroli. That's toast. Really badly blocked there. So we'll switch to Lando. And then we'll send Max. As soon as he gets back to pits, we'll just send him back out again.
And you are doing a good job on tires. And track is clear, track clear. Start button off for last corner.
So again, we've got traffic coming out of the pits. Oh, this is going to be ruined as well. Oh, god damn it. So we're just going to have to trust that Norris has done enough, because we're not going to get the chance to send him back out again.
Norris, watch out for Norris right behind you.
Norris is nowhere near him. Cats. What do I think that V8s are coming back to F1 in 2030 or 2031? Really, really excited for that. Louder, more aggressive engine notes, nippier, lighter engine, less battery dependence.
Stop on the marks, goes to P1, please.
It's the right move, I think. I mean, I'd love a V10, instead of a V8, but I think it's more likely to be a V8 than a V10, unfortunately. Evening, Dino. Do I think they'll? Do I think Ferrari will change their Macarena wing to Red Bull's wing? I don't know. Is the honest answer. I mean, Ferrari have their concept. Red Bull have gone a slightly different way. They open in opposite directions. And the slot gap that is created is much bigger on the Red Bull. But just copying the concept of one car and putting it on the other might not work because of how the airflow is sculpted. So it might mean a massive overhaul of the rear of the car to be able to put that style of upside down wing on their car.
So watch out for the next car.
And even then, it might not work
Brake
well.
warming reminder.
Or much better than the one that they've got. So there's always going to be a cost, both in time and a wind tunnel allowance, etc., etc. And when you've already got a concept of your own that works, then switching to a variation of that concept just because someone else has done it, and it's way too early to say whether or not there's a massive benefit or not to that version over your own version of the concept. When you know, that's a big diversion of resources when you could be putting that time and focus into other areas of the car where you could make more significant gains than just, you know, adjusting the rear wing slightly. Will they add the Red Bull wing to the 2026 mod? I don't know. Is the honest answer. I honestly don't know. Evening, Arctic.
You're good to go, good to go.
You like V8s more than V10s? Well, each to their own. I mean, the V8 sounds great, but the V10s in Formula One, oh, they screamed. They were glorious. Max is out. Didn't get across the line in time. Max out in P18. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. It's going to be hard work today, isn't it? I wasn't even paying attention to the clock. I didn't even notice that we weren't going to get across the line in time, or else I'd have pushed him. Too busy answering questions in the chat. Norris is through at the moment, but he's not safe. Albon's looking to improve. Antonelli's looking to improve. Here comes Antonelli. There's Albon. They both improved. We're out. Antonelli only gets up to 17th. Albon gets to P9. Pourchaire's still out there on a lap as well. So Pourchaire could knock us out. This would be a disaster. Oh, he's only just quicker than Max. Max is going to start P21. Depending on how big that penalty is for Mini. Maybe P20. But Norris squeaking through by the skin of his teeth. Ah, dear, oh dear. There is a little video somewhere. I'm going to have a quick look, see if I can find it before we jump into the next quali session. And it was George Russell identifying engines. Let's see if we can find it. I don't know where I'm on that. God, it would help if I could spell, wouldn't it? Yeah, here we go. Alright, you can't hear the audio. I thought I was turning it on and off, but I wasn't. Okay, so now let's do this. So this is what a V8 sounds like.
The first one.
V8.
And now let me find the V10. Nope. There we go. No, come on.
Yes.
I reckon I can maybe.
Alright, so this is the V10.
That immediately, because it's the current engine, right? All right, one engine is this.
That's a V10.
Yes.
I reckon I can maybe guess.
So you can hear that really loud scream of a V10 engine compared to a V8. The V8 sounds good. The V10s, oh, they scream when they're at full revs. They are a glorious sound. I would love to have V10s back in Formula One. Absolutely love it. While we're still on this screen, let's have one last quick check, see if overtake is back up yet. Nope, still down. Alright, into qualifying we go then. Let's change the tyres, put on the scrubs to start.
So now we have green light.
There was another video I saw the other day as well, another little short, and it was fans watching the current gen of cars go through Eau Rouge and Raidillon onto the Camel Straight at Spa. Fan footage, and then similar camera angle, but from back when V10s were racing, and the sound difference is staggering. So much louder with the V10s. Yeah, if you haven't listened to any or watched any races with V10s, you really should. Car sound is so much more aggressive. I mean, I grew up in an era when there were all sorts of different calibers of engine, and when you had, I think you had some V8s back in the late 80s. You had V10s. Ferrari were using a V12 up until the early 90s. Lamborghini were in for a little while using a V12 of their own as well, but rebadged. It wasn't a Lamborghini team. It was a rebadged Lamborghini engine. I'm trying to remember which team it was that ran it.
Track is clear. Track is clear. And will be charge button off for last corner.
How you doing, Adrian? Right, first split coming up. 27.2. We'll use Albon as a comparison. Our car is not good in corners. And so I really don't think this circuit's going to play to our strengths at all in qualifying. I think in the race will be better. But single lap pace, I think we're really going to struggle today. And we've already seen Max not make it through. I would not be surprised if Norris does not get through this section into the top 10 shootout. Right, slightly quicker than Albon in the first sector. Through the middle sector, Gasly 2/10 up on us. Oh, how ironic would it be if Gasly, who hasn't really achieved much of anything this year, puts it on pole and takes the title away from his teammate in the process. Oh, that would be hilarious if that happens. Albon 4/10 up on us in the middle sector.
And reminder, stay negative on the dash.
Here he comes up to the line. He's over half a second quicker than us. Gasly's still up a 10th on Albon. It's going to come down to this final sector. Albon is quicker by 14 thousandths. George now starting his lap. He topped the timings in the first session. Could he be a threat to pole position? We're basically hoping on on the AI over Norris here, I think, to take pole away from Oscar. I mean, it would be, as I say, a little bit anticlimactic if Max wins the title because Oscar didn't stick it on pole with Max out in Q1. It would have been a bit more spectacular, a bit more poetic, I think, if Max had taken pole to take that point away. But, I mean, Oscar will be able to turn it on when the time comes. He's on an outlap now. We'll see what he does. He's just gone through the first sector.
Round the pit lane. And we need speed limiter on. Speed limiter on.
It's a decent looking lap from Russell. Half a second quicker than Hadjar in the first sector. Matching him in the middle sector. Norris back for another run. We'll send him out on the same tyres. Bearman in P6. Bortoletto P5. And Russell goes top by over 2/10. This is the man we need to keep an eye on. If he does not put it on pole, championship is done. So, no pressure, Oscar. using a set of slightly scrubbed tyres. There's Yuki Tsunoda pushing in front of him. So he's not going to worry about traffic immediately in front. In fact, the next car he's going to come up to, if he gets to us at all, is going to be Norris. Have we lost Max? No, Max is 38 points ahead, and there are 38 points remaining in the season. Oscar has to qualify on pole, win the Grand Prix, and get the fastest lap in both tonight's race and tomorrow's race as well, to finish level on points with Max, assuming Max does not score any points at all. And then he will win with more wins. He'll have 10 wins to our 7. So he will win on win countback. 27-0, Michael Schumacher's son, Mick. Clever save there. Mick gets slightly better in that first sector. 40.2 in the middle. So you're close to George's time, maybe slightly better. So yeah, maximum of 38 points available across both races. If Oscar does not put it on pole today, then the most he can possibly score after qualifying will be just 37 points, meaning no matter what happens to Max, Max can afford to do nothing for the remaining 2 Grand Prix. He'll still be champion. Leclerc with a 26.9 in the opening sector. Max needs a little bit of help to get qualifying, to get the championship done by the end of qualifying, and we might get it from Charles Leclerc. Personally, I hope Oscar does put it on pole, just so that it's not going to be a dead rubber match going into this Grand Prix. There'll still be something to play for. Max having to get through to at least 11th place to finish. Won't matter. Well, actually, no. If he gets the fastest lap, that will take that point away from Oscar, even if Max doesn't get it himself, if he's outside the top 11. So Leclerc has gone top by 0.2 of a second. Norris is improving, needs to find something to get into that top 10. Gets up to P6.
So at the moment you have P6. That was a good lap.
Norris will play the team game. There's no need for Norris to play the team game. We want Norris to try and outscore Oscar because we want Norris to finish ahead of Oscar in the championship. He's 2 points behind Oscar at the moment with 2 rounds to go. So we want Norris to try and take second in the overall standings. And he surrendered that to Oscar yesterday. Oscar outscored Norris by 3 points across the weekend. Right, so Doohan, Gasly, Colapinto, Sainz on outlaps. Albon and Bortoletto also out on outlaps now. A little queue of cars leaving the pit lane. Both Williams going out 2 by 2. It's Colapinto in the lead ahead of teammate Albon. There's Bortoletto. Oh yeah, we'll absolutely be looking to get Norris ahead of Oscar, but that's more for Norris than for Max. I have every faith in Max being able to get into the points today. Even if we are going to have a difficult start to the race.
There will be pit limiter on.
So Oscar going out for
Stop
his
in front
next
of
run.
the
Leclerc's out there as well. Let's get a new set of tyres on. we've got a fast Audi coming through. That'll be Jack Doohan.
And we need a good warm-up on the brakes.
Confirm.
Don't like how close Isaac Hadjar is to us there. Oh boy. If he locks up, we're toast. Oh, he's gonna try and go around us. Alright, I don't like this. Oh, we pulled over to let someone through. There goes Colapinto. There goes Albon. Here comes Doohan. No, Bortoletto, sorry. There we go. I was about to go manual control to try and pull away from Hadjar, but now we don't need to. Here comes Gasly. Through he goes. That's Charles Leclerc behind us, warming up as well.
Will be satisfied on off for last corner.
And here we go. Gasly gets out of our way. Tsunoda improves to P7. Gasly's out. Bearman improves to P12. So Gasly will not take part in the top 10 shootout. He misses out by 0.02 of a second to Carlos Sainz's time. Mini might yet make it through. Piastri stays P2. Russell stays P4. There's two Williams cars in front of us. Ah! Okay, now our lap is ruined, so our fate is no longer in our hands. We're going to abort the lap. Mini has made it into the top 10 at Sainz's expense. Albon gets bumped down to P10. I don't think Hadjar's going to do enough here. He doesn't. Hadjar is out. I think it'll be the same for Drugovich. Yeah, Drugovich is out as well. So there we go. That is your top 10. As everyone else is now done. Sainz, Gasly, Bearman, Drugovich, Hadjar and Bortoletto are eliminated. Norris will move on to the top 10 shootout along with Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Franco Colapinto, George Russell, Michael Schumacher's son Mick. Got the catch again there. Jack Doohan, Yuki Tsunoda, Gabriele Milli and Alex Albon. All right, then, into Q3. We will start with these tyres, the 96%, and then we'll stick a brand new set on for the final run.
Green light.
So Doohan will be the first on track, we'll be seconds. Is anyone going to steal out right behind us? Nope. Good, good, good. Albon and Piastri also making their way onto the track now. And Colapinto. Both Williams in the top 10. They could be in the mix today. They have got a good car. Don't quite have the drivers to go along with it. At least compared to some of the other top teams, they don't have a shining beacon like McLaren do with Russell. Ferrari have Antonelli. Ford have Oscar. We have Max and Norris. Honda have Leclerc. You know, Williams don't have a standout driver. I mean, Albon is the better of the two, but he's not a standout. He's upper tier, but he's not top tier.
Track is clear. Track is clear. There will be more push for last corner. More push.
Right, so we will have a little bit of traffic. Charles Leclerc in front of us. And Doohan goes through. Yuki Tsunoda now leaving the pit lane. That's everybody else on track now. We'll have an instant comparison to Doohan's times. We are a 10th up in the opening sector. There's Leclerc, get out of the way, Charles. Thank you. Oscar and Colapinto started their laps through turns 2 and 3. It's 40.3 for Doohan. Albon is slightly quicker than Norris. Here comes Colapinto and Oscar. Some ones for the pair of them. We are slightly quicker than Doohan again. There's a 129.876 for Jack Doohan. We are looking quicker here with Norris. We're up by a couple of tenths so far. And we lose a tiny bit of time to him in the final sector, so we are top by 1.5 tenths. But here comes Alex Albon. He has gone purple sectors 1 and 2. And in the final sector as well, he's 2 tenths up. He's quicker than Oscar. Leclerc with a 26.9. Albon goes top ahead of Colapinto. Oscar is in P4 behind Norris. As it stands, Max is world champion. It's a purple middle sector as well. This is a really, really good lap from Charles Leclerc. But there's still another run to come. And everyone will be on brand new tyres for that one. Across the line, and Leclerc goes top by 88 thousandths of a second. So, Oscar, who needs pole position with Tsunoda still to cross the line. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Could he make this an all front row for... Oh, no, he can't. Didn't even finish the sentence. I was going to say, can he make this an all front row for Honda? And, yeah, halfway through that sentence, he was halfway into the gravel trap.
Okay.
Yeah, you fucked up there. Very much so. And he's aborted the run. Into the pit lane he goes. Right, brand new tyres. And now the question is when to go. So yeah, Oscar, who needs to put this on pole position to keep his championship hopes alive, 3.5 tenths off at the moment from pole. He's going to have to pull out something very special indeed if he is going to keep his title hopes alive going into the race itself. A reminder for those who are recent joiners, there are 38 points between Max in first and Oscar in second. There are 38 points remaining in the championship. 17 points for a win, a point for pole position, and a point for fastest lap. 2 rounds to go. So if Oscar does not put it on pole position, then the most points he'll be able to score this going through to the end of the season with no reply from Max will be 37, meaning he will finish 1 point behind. If the two finish level at the end of the season, then Oscar will win with 10 wins to 7 against Max. So Oscar needs to get pole position, the fastest lap, and the win both tonight and tomorrow with no reply from Max at all to win the title. 1 point dropped by Oscar, or 1 point picked up by Max, and that's the title done. Where's Max? Max went out in Q1. I wasn't paying attention. I was answering questions in the chat. And then he didn't cross the line in time to start his final run. Evening, Johnny. So Tsunoda looking for a little bit of redemption here. Oscar has gone early. He's the next car that will start the flying lap. Others are still filing out of the pits. It looks like Tsunoda's going to get caught up by Mini here. Oh, yeah. Did he get through without losing too much time? I think he would have lost a tiny bit there, but I don't think he got held up too badly. Let's see what his first time is, his first sector. Oscar's on his lap now. And Oscar might be getting held up here. No, he gets through okay. Tsunoda's done a 27.4, so Tsunoda is not going to be in the hunt for pole. It's a 27.0, it's not purple. That's a 26.9 from Leclerc on his previous run. The only one to have done a 26.9 in this session.
And track is clear, track clear.
Need to see some purple sectors from Oscar if he wants to get that pole position. Norris now about to start his lap. He currently is 2 points behind Oscar in the championship standings, so we want him to try and outscore Oscar for his own personal sake to cement second in the championship. 40.1 is good. Will it be good enough? Needs to be a really strong final sector as well here for Oscar. I think he's going to miss out. If he misses out, it's all done and dusted, and Max is world champion. Can he put it on pole? No, he can't. Max is the world champion. Oscar cannot improve. Leclerc can. He's just done another purple first sector. Max Verstappen is the driver's world champion. Oscar needed the point for putting it on pole position. He has failed to do that. So Max will now win the championship. It's mathematically impossible now for Oscar to catch him. Let's see whether Norris can out-qualify Oscar. I don't think he can. Not with that middle sector, he can't. So let's turn our attention to Charles Leclerc, the man who has robbed Oscar of the World Championship. Into the final two turns.
Quite a good lap.
To the line.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't stretch the gap. Norris has been unable to improve. Russell is still in with a shout here. Let's see what his middle sector does. It's not quick enough. It's an improvement, but it's not quick enough for pole. Not unless you can find something like half a second here in the final sector, which he's not going to do. I don't think he's even going to get past Albon. He might get past Colapinto. No, doesn't even do that. He is 7th, 4 tenths away. So Leclerc puts it on pole position, Oscar second, Albon third, the top three separated by less than 900ths of a second. Colapinto in P4 to make it an all-Williams second row. Norris will start P5, Doohan P6, George P7, Michael Schumacher's son. I keep calling him Mick. I keep calling him Michael, it's Mick. This is the problem with running a Schumacher Senior on our 2013 mod. I've got back in the habit of seeing MSC as Michael Schumacher. Mick Schumacher puts it in 7th. Russell is 8th. Tsunoda's 9th. And Gabriele Mini is 10th. Or is he? Because he has a penalty. Let's see where he ends up.
Here in Sakir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With a need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
There we go. I was looking for that. I couldn't find it. Found it. So let's take a look at the amended grid then. So Sainz will get bumped up to P10. Mini has a massive penalty, which might explain why his pace has been good. He's got a whole new engine by the look of it. A whole big engine bay rebuild. So Max will start from P20. And then it'll be Antonelli P17. Lando in P5. We need him to try and get ahead of Oscar to try and get extra points and outscore Oscar for Norris's sake to try and get second place back in the championship. Currently behind by 2 points in the battle for second. So let's take a look at strategy. It's going to be cold apparently, so we can be quite aggressive with the tyres. I'm going to start us like this in case we get an early red flag. And then we're probably going to do this with these tyres as well. In fact, I might be able to go the one stop, you know. Let's go for the one stop. Let's see if we can do the one stop and make that work. Because our tyre wear is good enough to pull that off. Max finishing up a Oscar in this race for the plot would be funny. Yeah. Max winning this race would be hilarious. We'll see if it happens. I don't think it will. But, you know, you never know. This is a circuit where safety cars do happen. And a well-timed safety car could dramatically change how this race goes. There we go. We are set and prepped. We've chosen our tyre strategies. We've put extra laps of fuel in, given the drivers their instructions. The start of the Bahrain Grand Prix is next.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race.
A P20 start with so much ground to make up. Surely a comeback is too much to ask for.
Here we go.
Not for Max, it's not.
Time to go racing.
How much of a comeback is open to be debate, but
this is it.
he
The
will get
Bahrain
himself up to the
Grand
points. That I'm pretty sure.
It's lights out and away we go.
Looks like it was a good start for Charles. Not a good start for Oscar. Albon's going to jump him into turn one. And Albon squeezes through, and here comes Norris. Max down to 21st, been overtaken by Fornaroli. Puncture is assured. Who for, Arctic? Feels a little weird to see a Jordan just sprinting off in the lead like that. Max gets ahead of Lawson, as does Fornaroli. Lawson down to 21st. Oh, you mean just a random puncture? I thought you were talking about in terms of strategy. Let's see us get
Here's
past
the
Lawson.
replay. Now we're watching Max Verstappen here. It's certainly inviting.
Very nice, at the inside at turn 11.
And Verstappen says thank you very much.
Verstappen says, that was good racing.
DRS is enabled.
Right, will we have a look into turn 4 here?
Lawson behind you.
No. Let's just put the battery on now, which is going to make it next to impossible, especially with him being on softs and us on mediums.
Slow down now.
Yep. And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Yeah, confirm.
I want to cool the tyres down a bit more than this, but I also want to keep the pressure on Norris. See if we can stay with Oscar. Any reason we're starting on extra fuel? Yeah, because the temperatures aren't that high, so we can put extra fuel in and push without any real worry of overheating the engines. It means we can be more aggressive in the braking zones. Which, you know, we're going to need if we're going to get any overtakes done. Also, by starting on the mediums, it means being able to brake a little bit later means we've got a slightly better chance of defending, although not in that case there against Colapinto.
Right, let's concentrate.
Right, we're out of battery, so let's go into assist. Let's turn the tyres down now properly. Let's turn Max's tyres down now as well.
1.4.
Put him into top up and assist. Max has got ahead of Fornaroli.
Confirm.
Wouldn't the load slow the car a bit?
Okay. Okay.
Yes and no. I mean, you can start light, but you have to fuel save, which means you're reducing the potential maximum pace. You can start heavy and push and be more aggressive, which means while you're slightly compromised on weight, you're certainly you know, more competitive going into the corners.
Keep going.
It's a balancing act. I mean, we're not massively overfueled, so we're not having a massive weight penalty, and we're not massively underfueled, so we're not gaining a massive amount of weight, but then having to do significant fuel saving. Different tactics work at different circuits. This is one where it's usually a good idea, if the temperatures aren't too bad, to just put a little bit of extra fuel in at the start and push, because we'll burn it off very quickly.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
Okay.
I think it's, what, 1.8 kilos a lap here. Let me break out the notepad. In fact, actually, yeah. For years I've talked about the notebook and no one's ever seen it. Would you like to see the notebook? Fornaroli's got back in front of Max again. All right.
Progress to be made. Car
The
behind
notebook.
is
Actually, I don't
Lawson.
know why I went onto the TV display there. This is the notebook. So, inside here is setups that I used to use.
Race is long.
It's where I plotted out
Behind we
coordinates
have Russell.
for doing the logos. So let me change the lighting a little bit. See if I can make it a bit easy to stand out. I don't know how well you could actually make any of that out, but that was me back when I did the Lamborghini livery, plotting out what symbols to put in and what coordinates. That was my first Lamborghini logo. Then I did an updated version, which was those 2 pages.
It's nearly impossible to miss
And then
This focus is a long race.
there's the Holden livery, those 2 pages. Or the Holden logo, as I should say. There's the Peugeot, those 2 pages. But in here, let's see if I can zoom in a bit. So again, not sure how well you could actually make that out, but you could see there, Brazil and Las Vegas tells me whether or not it was a sprint weekend. These were written down for 2013. So that's when sprints were introduced. And then it tells me underneath how many laps to do 2 separate runs with a turnaround time in the middle. So Brazil is 21 laps, and then underneath that, the fuel per lap. In terms of Brazil, it's 1.3 kilos per lap, and then it was all the different 100% setups I'd had. Well, not all of them, but a good selection of them. So let me find Bahrain. That's Bahrain. This one here. Lots of different setups on that one. And it is 1.8 kilos a lap, according to my 2023 notes. So, yeah, we started with 3.6 kilos of fuel then. And we're already down after just after 5.5 laps, we're down to just under 2 kilos left. We're burning it off really quickly. Even in McLaren. But yeah, that is the fabled notebook that I started referencing back in F1 Manager 22. And then we just added in some updated bits and bobs over the years. Mini running a little bit wide.
Now this is
I need
where
to
the
reposition
RB
the camera now
drive
because
is
it's
involved.
tracked off my head.
Oh, and they need to be watching those track limits. Well, hopefully not a sign of things to come.
Go. So Max struggling a little bit at the moment because we're not pushing the tyres. Again, we go for a 1 stop, not a 2 stop. Norris down to 10th. Again, dropping off a little bit, but not really pushing the tyres too much.
Yeah, confirm.
So we're going to take a lot of pain in these opening laps.
Next car behind now is Sainz.
But it will come back to us. You see Norris getting back through again. Lovely little overtake there. You thought Max would get back through the pack. Well, look, a lot of the cars in front are running softs, which is why we're slipping down the order a bit. And we're not pushing the tyres at all at the moment. Whereas the AI will be pushing their tyres. We're going to see some of these guys at the back on these soft tyres box probably in the next 5 to 10 laps, well, less than that, 5 to 8 laps or so, I would say, we're going to see the first of them coming in. The mediums are probably only going to go to maybe about lap 20 at the most, I would have thought, 20-ish. We're looking to take our mediums all the way through to past lap 30. You know, lap 32, 33, something like that. And we can be more aggressive with them, and just choosing not to be at this stage. So that as others start to slow down...
That's my bad.
Oh, mistake for Norris at turn 14.
Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner. And wide they go, leaving the
just,
racing line. And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage.
Just
if they
cutting the
keep
corner
on
a little
doing
bit there.
that.
While we're still sort of in the pack, we can keep the pace lower to keep the tyre temps under control. And pick up DRS.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now we're approaching turn 2. Can they
This
squeeze
circuit
by?
from, you know, is always really a two-stop. With significant
That's a
push
great move
on the
by the
tyres,
Alpine.
and we're bucking that trend a little bit here tonight. There will come a point soon where the softs will start to struggle a little bit for some of the cars, not all of them, but for some of them.
So deployed.
Confirm. So push at the moment.
Yeah.
Piastri pushing for the fastest lap for the year done. Well, no, he's still fighting for second place in the standings. He's only 2 points clear of Norris, so he still needs good results. And he's got himself back into the DRS of Charles Leclerc.
Charge button on. Charge button on.
Confirm.
Look at that, we're down to just 1 kilo of fuel.
Charge on.
We haven't even done, we're on lap 9 now, so we've done 8 laps and we burnt off 2.8 kilos. Or 2.6 kilos, sorry, of fuel in 8 laps.
Sainz behind with DRS.
And only now, after prolonged stuck in the dirty air, has Max's engine slightly crept above the ideal temperature by a couple of degrees.
Charge on.
Okay.
Go back to doing lift and coast now.
Okay.
Charge on.
Okay.
Charge on.
Yep.
Rocketing away from us there with slipstream and DRS. But we'll get back into the DRS in the braking zone. Sainz now getting past Norris. Norris down to 12th, out of the points now, and back into the points. And we've got a yellow flag. There goes Jack Doohan. Off at turn 8.
Yellow flag.
Yeah, okay.
Now this is what happened. Now this happened down at turn 8. And the rear just lets go. Not a mistake they'll want to make again. The team glued to the monitors and watching their hopes.
And that's put Norris right back onto the back of Jack Doohan. And Jack Doohan's tyres will have taken some punishment with that spin, so Doohan might be one of the first to box. Mini has dropped away from the pack in front. His tyres might be dying off a little bit now.
Charge on.
Okay.
Charge button on.
Yeah, confirm.
Sainz behind with DRS.
Okay. You can save less.
So Leclerc still leads after 10 laps from Oscar Piastri. Albon and Colapinto 3rd and 4th. Schumacher in 5th. Tsunoda 6th. Then Drugovich, Russell, Bearman, Doohan and Norris in the final points position. Everyone in the top 10 on softs. The next 4 cars behind Norris also on softs. That's Antonelli, Sainz, Bortoletto and Gasly. Then it's Porsche, Lindblad, Hadjar and Lawson on mediums. Fornaroli and Mini on softs. Max on mediums at the back of the grid. There is Max just in the back of the shot there. And we're going to punch our way past Jack Doohan at the start of the lap. Assuming Antonelli doesn't have a lunge at us.
DRS. And we need to increase pushing status.
So mode push.
Okay.
We don't need to worry about management on these tyres, just push them.
And there we go, we got through. Max got past Mini. And almost identical. Oh no, we got him at turn 15. Very nice.
Not too bad, huh?
Ah, damn it, we gave up the DRS to do it. I thought we just about snuck away from that, but apparently not. Here comes Max on Fornaroli. So that's 2 Minardis dispatched in quick succession. Next up, Liam Lawson. And we've now dropped Doohan.
We need you to increase lift and coast.
Confirm.
There we go. Antonelli having a look in the background as well. He gets through. Max having a little look at Lawson. I don't think we're going to pull that one off. No, we're not.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much we can do.
Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for. Charge on.
Fornaroli getting a very good launch and getting past us in the braking zone. That's a bit frustrating. And Doohan's in. So Doohan did 12 laps. I did say, didn't I? On lap 5, we're looking at about
Long way to go in this race.
no, lap 7. It's at about 5 to 7 laps or so. So we start seeing people coming in. Well, here we are, bang on prediction. Another set of softs. Good stop as well, actually. Doing definitely on at least a 2-stop. And depending on what he does with those tyres, possibly even a 3-stop.
We need to do the full management on this set.
Okay.
Yeah, confirm.
Charge on. We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Alright, I'm trying to resist the temptation to just absolutely hammer the tyres to go chasing after the cars in front. And it's not going to be good for us at all. We might already be too far away from the front runners to stand a chance of actually winning this Grand Prix. Piastri is down to 3rd as Albon's gone through past him. We are 21 seconds off Leclerc at the moment, which is almost a pit stop. As Antonelli gets through but gives us the DRS. We still have the inside line. But he gives us a little squeeze. And Norris gets a bit huffy.
Behind you it's Sainz. Gap to him 1.7. And we need to manage front tires. Yeah, confirm.
I was kind of hoping we might get an early safety car so I could switch this to a soft. But that has not happened. Could convert our strategy to a 2-stop.
Sainz behind with DRS.
I want to try and stick out on this 1-stop for a while if I can. Max closing back in on Fornaroli. And Oscar's in. He did just 14 laps on his tyres. He's in. So the medium's on a very good stop. Tsunoda and Russell are in. There's Oscar. He's going to come out behind Sainz. Max now to P15 as everybody in front of him boxes. So now we're back in the game again. At least with Norris anyway. Max still a little bit further behind.
Charge on.
Yeah.
It would be nice to get back onto Antonelli. The track temperature's dropping a bit so we can start to be a little bit more aggressive with the tyre again.
Confirm.
Okay to push harder through 6 and 7.
And the front 3 are all in. Colapinto will have to potentially stack behind Alex Albon here. Leclerc gets a clean stop. He's out and away.
And just a reminder on DRS.
And Albon clears the box before Colapinto gets there. Drugovich coming in now. Norris has got ahead of Albon. Leclerc just in front. That is a little bit of a problem. Doohan sets the new fastest lap on his new tyres.
Charge button on, charge on.
Yeah, confirm.
You've got the pace.
Okay.
We don't think we need any lift and coast.
Yeah.
Max nearly able to stick it up the inside of Lawson there. But Lawson's lost the DRS under that pressure. Oscar now gets ahead of Albon. Max gets through, but it's out of battery.
Reduce K1 usage.
That move's not done yet. He's still just alongside. Has to lift slightly.
Charge on.
And there we go. We are through, but we are going to be vulnerable as Schumacher's into the pits. Oscar gets ahead of Norris.
Continue, keep going. Behind we have Albon.
And we need to increase lift and coast by 30%.
P11 now for Max. We go chasing after Isaac Hadjar. You can see Tsunoda putting Lawson under some pressure. Tyre temps are still good. Norris still just about hanging on to Piastri and Antonelli. Despite the pressure from Antonelli. Sorry, from Alex Albon.
Yeah. Yeah, confirm.
There we go, Max has now broken clear. Well, Tsunoda will be on him pretty quickly. And so will Russell. We've lost the DRS. Antonelli's pushing to get ready to box, I think. Bortoletto gets out of Sainz. That's down in P19. And Albon's going to pick us off here. As into the pits goes Arvid Lindblad. And Isaac Hadjar. So that's another car out of Max's way. Well, two cars out of Max's way. Puts him up to P9. Only three cars in front of him haven't stopped, and one of them is Norris. See, we are ahead of prediction on tyre wear at the moment. Norris has kept Albon behind. Oh, lock up for someone. That was Alex Albon locking up.
And we need to try to avoid.
Just saw him regaining the track in the background.
Yeah, confirm.
That takes some
Let's
pressure
see
off
what
of Norris.
happened there. Now this is what happened as they took turn 8. Struggling with the car. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
Yeah, nothing good. Tsunoda and Russell both, and Doohan. Oh, actually, who was it? It was Lawson, wasn't it? Lawson's boxed. So Tsunoda, Russell and Doohan have all been unleashed. Although they're all kind of fighting amongst themselves at the moment. Max is closing in on the back of Teo. We were a second quicker than them on that last lap. Norris has now caught the back of Antonelli, who is going to be boxing very, very soon.
And charge button on.
Confirm.
And there he goes, straight into the pits. And Pourchaire's in, so Max will get another free position there. Soft tyres going on for Antonelli. He's going to have to stop again. There's no way his softs will go all the way to the end. Same for Porsche. So the only cars that have now yet to stop are our two cars. Everyone else has now stopped.
And charge button on.
Confirm.
As Porsche rejoins behind Isaac Hadjar. Right. There is Norris in P3, 3.5 seconds away from Piastri, who is about 5 seconds away from Charles Leclerc. It's looking like Leclerc might actually get a win today. George has now caught the back of Max. This overtake is coming very fast. Same with Sonoda and Doohan behind.
DRS.
Yeah.
Stay ahead for now. This is just a matter of time, I think. Who do I think will win the Premier League and Champions League? To be honest, I haven't really followed either particularly closely this season. I've been engrossed with just other stuff, you know, and not having access to watch the matches. You just kind of lose track of what's going on. I don't have the same sort of passion for football that I used to have a few years back. I didn't really see that much of us winning the title last year either. I saw some highlights here and there, but not many. I still try and keep up to date with what's going on, but to say just not having access to watch the matches anymore just means that you kind of lose, not necessarily lose interest, but you lose connection.
He does have DRS on you.
Norris still ahead of Alex Albon, but I don't know for how much longer. Albon having another look here at turn 14. This time he will get through. And he'll have the DRS as well. So we're going to be vulnerable to Colapinto. But we will at least have a little bit of a slipstream from Albon to help. Colapinto, I don't think, was actually close enough to get the DRS. And that has probably saved us there. We'll get the DRS now from the back of Albon. Due to stop in 10 laps time, give or take. I think those that have gone soft are going to stop somewhere around lap 34, 35, that kind of area. Those that have gone soft medium or medium soft will probably stop
1.0 now.
if they're going medium soft soft, depending on when they stopped on those mediums, they might go sort of lap 38, 39 and come in sometime around then. They may even come in slightly earlier than that, but we're looking at the AI making their second stops somewhere between, I think, lap 32 and lap 40.
You are currently P8.
But we will have a few laps on those softs where we will have considerably more pace than the cars around
He's
us.
0.5 behind.
Colapinto now gets through on Lando, but he'll give Lando the DRS. We're not going to fight and try and get back ahead of him ASAP because that's just going to hurt our overall pace. Better to just see if we can stay with him and get a tow for a lap or two.
Use the energy.
Confirm.
Mode to push, please.
Yeah, okay.
I think we just broke Doohan's DRS there. We'll put him under pressure from George Russell. There's Russell swinging out to have a little look on the run to turn 11. Thinks better of it.
Charge button on. Charge button on.
Confirm.
Charge on.
And that's why we couldn't keep up with Colapinto as he sets a new fastest lap, a 1:33.1. Despite us using battery, he was still 2.7 seconds quicker than us. George is through on Doohan. Doohan will have a chance to fight back. There's a fewer cars behind, also trying to push through. Lawson now with a new fastest lap, a 1:32.8. 3/10 quicker than Colapinto's fastest lap that we just saw a moment ago. Lap 23 of 57. Norris currently sits in P5. We are 3 seconds behind Colapinto, 16 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. Still potentially in the hunt for the victory, or a podium at the very least. And then Max 26.5 seconds behind at the moment. That gap to Leclerc is only going to get bigger as our tyres are in worse shape. We're lapping slower and we're about to come under pressure from George and Co. again behind. There is race leader Charles Leclerc as he crosses the line. And that's a mistake from Felipe Drugovich. A spin at turn 11.
And we have single yellow.
Cool.
Can we start pushing the tyres? We're already pushing the tyres, look. We've got them on aggressive pace at the moment here, look. We're not on full attack, but I will potentially put them into full attack in a couple of laps' time. George gets through on Max. Max will have the DRS.
Mode push.
Okay.
Charge on.
Okay.
But again, as with yesterday's race, the more laps we can do on this stint, the less laps we'll have to do on the softs, which will give us more leeway to be aggressive with the softs. It's trying to weigh up how much time you'll lose staying out those extra couple of laps against, you know, the longer term benefits to the tyres.
And tyre phase update when you can.
Tires going away a little bit.
See if Schumacher gets us here. Antonelli's looking very likely to get past Verstappen here. Right, we got the DRS. So again, we'll get a nice little bit of a boost on the run to turn 4.
Race is long. Car behind is Tsunoda. Gap to him 1.8.
Antonelli does get through.
It's really impossible to race like this.
Looks like he got him inside the braking zone
Let's
at turn
take a
1.
closer look. Now here we are tackling turn 3. There's the opening.
Yeah. Going from behind, inside line, gets the DRS for the exit of turn 3 as well.
And the Ferrari moves up.
So P6, P10 at the moment, with 6 or 7 laps to go on the predictions. We are looking decent on the tyres at the moment.
Gasly 0.5 behind with DRS.
Lap 29 will be the halfway point. So we're rapidly approaching that. Pace is now definitely starting to struggle. Albon's got an issue. Ooh, that's not good news for Alex Albon.
Engine problems.
Well, that kind of narrows that down to a problem with the engine.
We're so slow.
Snowder gets through,
Continue,
so
keep
does
going.
Gasly.
Russell behind.
Now, what am I doing wrong? I don't know.
There's progress to be made.
It is quite an interesting perspective going against the grain strategy-wise at this circuit. The two-stop is potentially much quicker, but depending on how things play out on track, you know, some of that advantage can easily be gobbled up on the one-stop, especially if you get a safety car early on to give you a chance to squeak a bit more fuel and tyres into the car. Just prolong the life of your rubber a little bit more. If someone makes a mistake and spins and slows cars down in front, which we've seen with Doohan as a prime example of that, then that can have a substantial knock-on effect on some other cars. But this is the kind of thing that you normally see very little of in a Formula One race on TV, because it's normally watching the actual excitement and stuff. And this is the kind of thing that Aston Martin would do. Just, you know, go for a one-stop and try and make up as many places as possible. Or maybe Haas, for example. You know, just try and stay out there long. It's a classic Williams tactic from a couple of years ago as well. Just try and go really long. Albon would take the hard tyres sometimes to the last lap of the Grand Prix, or the penultimate lap, and then box to do like the last couple of laps on a new set of tyres. You know, because he was waiting to see if a safety car would come out that would allow him to come in and get a cheap pit stop to try and hold track position. We normally don't see it actually playing out much on TV, so actually spending a race focusing on that and seeing how the car kind of yo-yos up and down the order a little bit at times, it's quite fascinating in some respects. Axel just climbed back up to 25 degrees again. Tyre attempts are going up slightly. Here comes Lindblad.
Tires are
He
ready.
gives us the DRS.
Yeah, okay.
Charge on.
Yeah.
Pit windows are now open. Max is back down to P13.
Okay.
But we are going to get an undercut on a lot of these cars. Not all of them, I don't think, but most of them. We're going to get an undercut when we do come in. We can go to lap 32, 33. I'll be happy with that.
Charge.
And we're banking back a little bit of spare fuel here and there as well, ready for the new set of tyres, so we can push and try and claw back some of this lost time. Let's see how far behind the leaders we are now. So Norris is 27.5 seconds behind. That's more than a pit stop. But again, we will be undercutting Piastri and Leclerc, so we'll pull some of that time back. And then we're just going to hope we'll have enough in the car to be able to hold them behind when they catch back up to us again. Max, 40 seconds off. We're just looking to get a decent points finish with Max. We're not looking to try and get him on the podium today. Starting P20 always meant around this particular circuit we were going to struggle to get
Right, let's concentrate.
a really good finish with him.
We have Russell.
But he's only 5 places behind
2.0.
Norris at the moment, and about, let's see, 5, 8, 9, 11.5-ish seconds behind Norris at the moment. It's not too bad. We're at the halfway point of the Grand Prix now. Now we can turn the tyres up for the last few laps.
Let's get after these cars in front.
See some front runners have slipped into the 135s again. So their tyres are starting to go off. Track temperature coming down again. And there we go. Look at that. Drugovich making his second stop. Surprised he wasn't doing being the first to make his second stop after he stopped first last time around. But he's sticking on mediums to go to the end. We're going to be going another few laps and then sticking on softs, so we will have a definite grip and tyre advantage over him. Russell's now got a fault.
Downshift 7th to 604.
Problematic gearbox developing. Good, good, good.
And you are doing a good job on tires. Keep working like this. Russell behind DRS.
And there's doing.
Yep.
Fornaroli also boxing. Playing whack-a-mole, trying to make sure we can actually tag the right car here.
Just not have enough pace. Continue like this.
Mediums to the ends. In comes Fornaroli. Mediums to the end. And will Felipe Drugovich get through? Might get Mini. Sorry, Fornaroli. Nah, not quite.
Tsunoda right behind you. He's 1.3 seconds behind. Do your best.
Charge button on.
Confirm.
Charge on. Yeah, all good.
And Colapinto's in. So I did say we would probably see the soft boxing around lap 32. I was a little surprised to see Drugovich in when he came in. Doing was about on schedule. Russell is in as well. And he just got past Norris. He will now slot back behind him again. Mediums for Colapinto. It'll be mediums for George as well. Colapinto is still ahead of Verstappen.
Very happy with tyre management.
Box now. Box.
Look at all those soft tyres. Brand new because we didn't get out of Q1. Bortoletto into the pits as well now.
Box this lap.
Medium tyres for him too. And he will slot out right behind Felipe Drugovich. Right, Gasly gets through on Lando.
Race is long. Charge on.
Yeah, confirm.
They see Max just coming in through turn 13 in the background with Sainz and Porsche right behind him. So this is Norris's in lap. Max brutally chopped there by Sainz. And this is Max's in lap as well.
Just do your best. Charge on.
There's not really much point pushing the fuel with the tyres in the condition they're in. It's better to save that fuel for when we've got fresh tyres, which will be the next lap. We will get very little benefit using it now compared to using it in a couple of laps' time when we got significantly more pace in the car. Because the fuel basically allows us to attack the corner a bit more, you know, go quicker into the corner. But if you don't have the grip to take the corner quickly, it's kind of a waste. So this is why you generally don't see me pushing the fuel too much on an in-lap. You might even see me saving fuel on an in-lap as well as doing a little bit of battery harvesting so that the car is in really good shape to be able to go on the attack once the fresh tyres are on and warmed up. Really maximise the potential pace that you can get with that fresh rubber and a fuel push and a battery burn. As Yuki Tsunoda comes in, just in ahead of Norris. This will be medium tyres for Yuki. Oh, blisteringly quick stop there.
And watch a white line on exit.
I really hope this isn't a safety car.
There's a yellow flag now.
It's a crash. Who's involved?
It was George Russell involved.
Oh, excellent.
Pushing a bit too hard at this point. And not just one car involved in that, as you can see.
A little
That will
clip.
have
I
knocked their
don't think he
confidence,
suffered
I'm
any wing
sure.
damage, but he might have suffered some bodywork damage.
And just like that, the hopes of the team start to dwindle.
That's not quite so good a stop there for Max, unfortunately. 2.1.
So it's very tight.
We can't see if George has got any body damage because he's got a fault as well.
Next car in front will be Russell.
So let's get these tyres fired up. No penalties given for that incident there, deemed a racing incident. Charles Leclerc's in. It's a little earlier than I was expecting for Charles Leclerc. So he must be going mediums. He is. So he's gone soft, medium, medium. Interesting.
24 laps to go.
Antonelli in as well. This will be for mediums. And it's a bad stop. Out he goes as Lindblad comes in. We are a bit further behind than I would like to be able to capitalise on some of this.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Okay, confirm.
Hadjar coming in.
So we need to push for these laps.
Yeah, confirm. Suggests that you can reduce the amount of lift and coast at turn 1.
Yeah, okay.
We are good for the moment.
Let's see what our sector times look like. 27.7. We're a long way behind Oscar though. He's just pushed to start a new lap. He's into turn 1 now. 27.7 for Verstappen as well. Here we should be able to cut through pretty quickly. Look at the sector time difference here compared to the cars in front of us. Through we go on Gabriele Mini. We give him a little bit of a squeeze on the exit there as well. We've got a car boxing, that's Lawson. We've got a nice run on George. So 132.8. Norris a little slow in the final sector. Gets up the inside of George. And that's another place taken. That's Norris back up into 12th place. Max a 133.4. Also getting held up a little bit. He tries to squeeze through, but Fornaroli was very defensive there. We should get him here, though, easily into turn 4. And we do, and we're through and away. Norris is already 1.5 seconds ahead of George Russell. He's in the DRS of Yuki Tsunoda, so we could get another really quick attack here as well. Evening, Tony. So we've got 2 McLarens in the chat now.
Next car in front will be Tsunoda.
We're Cadillac. As evidenced by the Cadillac badging all over the car. There you go, that's P11 and into the points for Norris. And Porsche is boxing as well.
Just a reminder on
Right, now we're going to calm the tyres down.
He's
Go into
done the
top up.
fastest lap.
We've got the fastest lap of 131.9.
And increase lift and coast.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
There we go.
Okay.
Max will come through. Up to 17th.
Go back to doing lift and coast now.
Okay.
Charge on.
Okay.
Another behind with DRS.
Max is almost into the DRS now. Drugovic, in fact, he might get him here.
Okay, charge on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for.
Tsunoda just about clinging onto the back of Lando at the moment. Let's turn Norris' tyres back up. We've got a yellow flag. Don't be a safety car. Don't be a
So
safety car.
increase pushing status.
Norris has passed Sainz
Avoid locking.
because Sainz locked up.
Right then, we can take a look now. So here we go, heading into turn 1.
So we're now into P9.
Oh, and the car locks up. They were just unable to do much about it.
And there you see Tsunoda and Russell closing in on the back of Sainz. And we are away. Sainz is going to be struggling. He needs to stop again. So he may well box at the end of this lap. Max is still behind Drugovic.
Still margin to push a bit harder through turn 6 and turn 12.
Albon's in.
Just focus
He
this
will
on
still
long
come out
race.
ahead of Norris, I think. Schumacher coming in as well. Schumacher's going to get out ahead of Norris as well. Right, it's time to get past. Losing time here behind Drugovic now.
Remember, long way to go in this race.
There we go. Comfortably through. Thank goodness Charles barely got pole. Well, I mean, we still have the fastest lap right now, so that on its own would have been enough to take that point away from Oscar, although Oscar will be boxing onto a set of softs here, so may yet have the pace to take that back. Oh, Russell's made a mistake.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Spinning at turn 8, so that's Max up to P15. Or P16, I think.
Say, guys, sorry.
And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the...
Yeah, P15. There we go. So, where's Oscar going to feed out? Behind Charles Leclerc by quite a margin. But he's on soft tyres. He'll be able to go hunting.
A long way to go.
10 seconds. Antonelli gets the fastest lap.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
Okay.
Max has now caught Gabriele Mini,
Yep.
whose tyres are dying. He might dive into the pits here. Nope, going another lap. And there we go. That's another place taken. P14 now for Max. Sainz still needs to make that extra stop. Bearman needs to make that extra stop. Gasly needs to make the extra stop as Gasly gets overtaken by Schumacher. So both of our drivers are going to move up additional places. It's now a question of just how many points we can get and whether Oscar can catch and pass Charles Leclerc. Norris is going to slip a little bit further back in the championship. I don't think in a head-to-head we can actually beat Piastri with Norris. Just his car is better overall in terms of its balance than ours. He's got more downforce than we do, which definitely an issue here, and will probably be an issue in Kota for the season finale. Ooh, it's a yellow flag. Now we want a safety car. Bortoletto with a lock-up at turn 13.
Now this was the Sauber. Things look fine here. The wheels just lock up there. What caused that, I wonder?
Let's turn the tyre pace back up a little bit more again now.
Might need to pick up the pace a little bit.
Actually, let's go into harvest while we're stuck here behind Bearman.
Charge on. Confirm.
Get ready to go into attack here. See if we can get past him on the run into turn 10.
So deployed. Okay, confirm.
No, but we get him on the exit at 10. Comfortably so. P8 now for Lando.
Charge button on.
Max is on the back of Sainz.
Charge on.
Okay.
We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Antonelli and Gasly fighting in front of us. Track temperature's climbing back up again, so I'm going to ease off so we don't overcook the tyres.
No worries, mate.
We need to manage these tires, okay? Yeah, go.
Cool the car as much as you can.
And there we go, comfortably through.
No more lift and coast.
P13 now.
Charge on.
Albon and Colapinto switching places. 15 laps to go. Oscar's got the gap down to 8.5 seconds. Taking a second and a half or so. 2 seconds maybe out of Leclerc. Schumacher is closing in on the back of the two Williams drivers. Norris is steaming up to the back of Gasly, who still hasn't stopped yet. There's Norris. So So we're looking at P7 at worst, I think, for Norris here. Gasly stays out again. Is he going to try and run long and then do a very short stint on another set of softs? Max, now that he's clear of Sainz, is unleashed again. Let's see what he does across the line. Half a second quicker than doing. See Drugovic having a look at Sainz and gets through. Took 0.3 out of Gasly in the first sector with Norris. Let's see what about the middle. Took another 0.7 there, so we're a second up on Gasly on this lap so far.
What about tyres?
Gap now under 4 seconds.
Yeah, tires are okay for now.
Lindblad has stalled trying to get past his teammate. He's lost a lot of time. Doohan's got that gap down by about 1.5 seconds. Lindblad does now get through. There's Sainz into the pits. Mini in the Minardi is coming in as well. Oh, another collision. It's a safety car. Oh, this is going to make things interesting. So, do I box? Do I box? Yeah, I think I do. Don't want to take on too much spare fuel. All right, we've got a good amount of time left to take advantage of these new tyres as well. Or we should have once the race gets back underway again. Let's see what happened. Porsche with a lock-up into the side of George. And that's them both out.
And clearly then, not what everyone in the garage would have wanted to see.
Actually, they might possibly carry on, but I think they're both out. Yeah, there we go. Both of them are out. Sainz and Mini both into the pits. While the safety car was coming out. There we go. Let's see what George says. Oh, come on, George. If ever there was a time to say, he just turned into me, that was it. Just drive into me. There was nothing I could do. Leclerc has boxed. I had a feeling he would. This is going to reset the grid, but I don't think Leclerc has brand new soft tyres available.
A crash in the main straight on the left. Crash in the main straight.
No, he doesn't. His tyres are 88%. Look.
And reminder.
Ooh, Oscar stayed out.
Marshals on the main straight.
So Oscar will gain track position, but he's been on those tyres a little while. Albon's in. Colapinto's in. Schumacher stays out. I mean, these guys are a bit far ahead of us. Antonelli's coming in. Does Gasly box? I think Gasly has to box, doesn't he?
P6.
Yeah, he does. slight delay for Colapinto, but he'll get clear. That was a quick stop.
14 laps
Porsche
to
has
go.
got a 5-second penalty for the season finale in Kota. A 2-second stop. We need a good stop here for Norris. Sorry, for Max. We've had an 1.800. Perfect stop for Lando on this first stop. We need a good stop for Max because his first stop was a 2. Nah, still a 2. Slightly better 2, I think. But, Norris will be out in P9 on brand new soft tyres.
P9.
Still with the stickers on.
Gasly
Max
front.
will be out in P13.
Gasly
Some
front,
cars
2.7.
did not stop. Yuki didn't box. Schumacher didn't box. Oscar didn't box. Gasly did. Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
When you cross the line, 13 laps to go, it will be.
That sounds like a little Yoda impression there. Across the line, 13 laps there will be. Right, we're going to take a quick ad break, and then we'll see how long it takes to go racing again.
13 laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah.
Take care of the tires.
Yep. No management required.
Okay.
Tyre temps are good.
Okay.
Energies are good.
Yeah, confirm.
Tire temps good.
Yeah.
So still waiting for the field to finish condensing back up again. Nobody needs to unlap themselves. So we won't have that extra sort of lap and a half to 2 lap delay. It's possible we might even go racing at the end of this lap, but I think we'll probably do one more. Why does Oscar do the opposite all the time? Well, it doesn't always. But he had only been on those tyres for a few laps. He boxed on lap 40, so perhaps it made more sense for him to just stay out and gain track position. We've been on our tyres since lap 33, 34, 35, somewhere around that window, so it made a lot more sense for us to box. Plus, there was a good chance that some of the cars in front of us wouldn't box. In the end, it was only Tsunoda and Schumacher and Piastri that stayed out, sorry. So a lot more cars have put on new tyres than I was hoping for, but I don't know if anyone else has got brand new socks. We do. So we will have a little bit more life of tyre to play with. Looks like we are doing another lap. Field just about coming together now.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
Okay.
And now we've got a real chance to gain some positions for Norris. Maybe less so for Max.
Yeah, confirm.
But Tsunoda's really going to struggle on those medium tyres. He'll have been on those since, I think, lap 32, 33 as well. Let's have a quick look how long he's been on those tyres. Yuki Tsunoda boxed lap 33. No, lap 34. Sorry, he boxed on lap 34. Current fastest lap is held by Kimi Antonelli at 1:31.5. We'll have a chance to take that back away as well. The title has already been decided. It was decided when Oscar failed to get pole position. Leclerc taking pole position and costing Oscar the World Championship, as he needed to get a clean sweep of pole positions, race wins and fastest laps in the last two Grand Prix. So there's nothing at stake for Max now. Norris, though, still in a fight for second place. Going into this Grand Prix weekend, he was 2 points behind Piastri. Piastri currently on for 17 points. Plus one. No, he didn't get pole, did he? So 17 points. Norris on for 3 points. So the gap will go up to 16 points with 19 remaining if it stays like this. So we do need Norris to try and get closer. And we need Leclerc to use his newer tyres to get past Oscar as quickly as he can. Let's have a quick look, actually, when did Oscar put his tyres on? So Oscar boxed on lap 40. And there we go. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap.
In this lap. We may restart again next lap.
Right, we're going to leave Max to his own devices. We're going to focus all of our attention on Norris.
Let's get after these cars in front.
DRS. Okay.
Mode push, please. Mode push.
Yeah, we can't overtake until we cross the start-finish line.
Okay.
Okay, leader is dropping back from the safety car.
Ah, damn it, everyone took back in. I was hoping that Antonelli would stay out and we could, wide, and we could get a slipstream past Gasly. That's not worked. In fact, Max... Oh, there's contact behind. Ah, Max is involved by the sound of it.
Yeah, all okay.
Yeah, confirm.
So there was Max going up the inside and then just got squeezed. There was a little bit of contact there as he was forced back onto the track. No damage, but the car, or the confidence, sorry, has dipped as a result of that contact.
Confirm.
So down to P15 for Max.
Confirm. Confirm.
Didn't lose anything in terms of tyre wear. Thankfully, Gasly pulled out of the slipstream of Antonelli to try and cover us off.
DRS is enabled.
And that enabled us to slip on through.
Yeah, confirm.
Oh, and Gasly must have got into the gravel slightly because he's down behind Lindblad and Doohan as well. Let's see that replay. See if we can figure out what happened to Gasly. Oh, not from that shot. Will it change the camera view, though? Yes, it is. And there we go. You can see him just getting squeezed off the track. He's still off the track at the moment as well. He's down behind Bearman. Now he's back on track.
Confirm. Yeah, confirm.
Piastri and Leclerc still fighting, but they're broken away from Schumacher. He's 2 seconds away. Remember, Schumacher stayed out as well.
All right, let's concentrate.
Tsunoda's not got the DRS here, so we might have a chance into turn 11.
Confirm.
Ah, not quite. Tsunoda's on those mediums. We need to clear him quickly.
Continue like this.
But we also need to clear him in a place that's going to make sense, and getting past on the run, you know, before the DRS zone is not a place that makes sense. Right, Max past Cornerolli. About time.
You should be mode charge.
Charles Leclerc sets a new fastest lap. Takes the point away from Oscar. And he might take the place away as well.
And more energy available.
Confirm.
Oh, god damn it, Yuki. That was cheap. Very cheap move.
Confirm.
Start button on.
Confirm. Yeah, confirm.
So Oscar down to second place means he's now on for 13 points, not 17.
There's progress to be made.
Use the energy.
Yeah, confirm. Yeah, okay.
There we go, Norris through to 7th. Now let's go back to Max. Need to get him past as quickly here as we can as well. There's a gap opening up.
Charge on.
Okay.
Schumacher's dropped behind the two Williams cars, Albon and Colapinto. Antonelli's all over him as well now.
Cool the car.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Mode push.
Yeah.
Cool the car as much as you can.
Okay. Okay.
Norris closing in
Charge
on Schumacher as Antonelli's through to P5 now. And we're absolutely melting our tyres, but that's fine.
The left rear is getting
Everyone's starting to queue up behind Yuki Tsunoda as Lindblad gets through. Leclerc's got too much pace for Oscar at the moment.
Mode push.
Djokovic still just out of DRS range.
And 6 laps to go.
Much better on the brakes. And through. Back to P13.
Charge
Ooh,
off,
the
please.
tyres right down a sec.
Cool
Norris is
tyres.
on the back of Schumacher.
Okay.
Charge button on. And you can use all the boost bar.
Gonna follow me. I will as soon as the Grand Prix is done. We will definitely check that before we end the stream.
Good job there, keep it like this. In front we have Albon. Gap to him 1.4. Charge button on. Five laps to go.
Albon's vulnerable to Norris as well. Yeah, all of a sudden too many fights. Yeah, they're happening all up and down the grid, aren't they?
Car ahead is Gasly. This focuses on long racing. See if we can get Gasly.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Do you need to be mode push?
And 4 laps to go.
Norris is through on Albon.
So deployed.
There we go. Lovely little dive bomb up the inside.
Charge on. Mode push.
Alright, come on, we've got to get past Tsunoda here. Come on.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit.
Yeah,
otherwise
there we
you'll
go,
just run out of
P12.
battery
So
and
we
then
can
you'll just be taking
still
over.
get points with Max, or a point with Max. Norris is closing in on Colapinto. Antonelli's got himself up onto the podium again. We're now into the DRS just of Colapinto, who does not have it from Antonelli.
Charge button on. Three laps to go.
We've got the pace. Here comes Yuki. He'll give us the DRS. Can we hold off Drugovich? Yes, we can. Oh, God damn it. We're back behind Tsunoda again. 3 laps to go.
No, it's very right speed.
Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for.
And Max Verstappen goes round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. So back to P12, but we're now 3 seconds behind Gasly and Bearman. Might be in a position to get him on the final lap. Norris now looking to get P4. We're not going to catch Antonelli, I don't think.
Race is long.
You put my name on the halo of every car. Is that going to be on overtake with my name on it? That'd be a brilliant bit of promotion for this channel. Oh, Leclerc's going to fall. He's 2.5 seconds clear. It shouldn't make a difference, but you never know. Antonelli sets the new fastest lap. Now that confirms we're not getting Antonelli.
2 laps to go.
There we go. We are through to P4. So in terms of damage limitation, it is 13 points for second place, 10 points for third, 8 points for fourth. So we're only going to lose 5 points to Oscar now.
Charge on.
Still in with a chance of catching Gasly, Bearman, and Schumacher is slowing everyone down.
Gap behind is 2.2 seconds.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
Way to go
Oh,
in
fuel,
this race.
fuel, fuel. That would have been bad if we suddenly ran out of fuel with Norris.
And last lap.
Oh, come on, come on. We can do this. We can do this. We can get Max into the final point position. Maybe. Hopefully. Possibly.
Okay, next one is going to be Gasly.
It's so close. 1.5 seconds. Bearman has dropped back from Doohan.
Mode push.
Okay.
Oh, if only hadn't had that little collision with Max and dropped him down to 15th
30%.
on the restart. He'd have been probably P8, P7 by now. Everyone's back on Schumacher again. It's going to make this tricky. Oh, he's pulled out of the slipstream. But we're not close enough to capitalise on it. Kimmy's got P2. Ah, even better. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you very much, Kimmy. That means Oscar's only going to outscore us by 2 points, so it'll be a 4-point gap going into the final Grand Prix.
Do your best.
Max isn't going to be able to get Gasly.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
Ah,
Look at that. Leclerc takes first
can't
place.
believe we didn't actually get a point with Max.
You can't say they didn't earn it. They put in an amazing performance today.
It is P3 for Oscar, P4 for Norris. The fight for second place is still alive. But Max did what Oscar needed. He did not get pole. He did not get the fastest lap. He did not finish in the top 11, so did not score any points this weekend. But Oscar failed to get on pole. He failed to get the fastest lap. He failed to win.
Today, Lando Norris has made the team's dream a reality.
So Max is the world champion.
That really was such a strong performance, and they come away from today with a top 10 finish. Amazing, really, really good for the team.
That makes it all worth it, doesn't it? Seeing your team ready to share the celebrations. And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
The third win of the season has to leave them and the team feeling confident.
And with that, the drivers finally get the chance to cool off and enjoy themselves. Well, the title's been firmly in their sights all season, but now the team can finally celebrate their championship win.
And it's not just one title they're celebrating. They picked up both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championships. Utterly dominant.
And that is about that.
There you go.
This
That's the
weekend's
championship
action
celebration.
here in
The celebration
Coming up
cutscenes
next,
are a bit shit
we'll be
in this
crossing
game,
the pond
unfortunately.
all the way to Texas for the twists and turns of the United States Grand Prix.
So, confirmation of the final result. Charles Leclerc gets the win. His third win of the season. Antonelli up 15 places to take second and the fastest lap and deny Oscar some crucial points. Oscar finishing in third, just 2 points ahead of Norris, who got fourth. Then it's Colapinto in fifth, sixth for Albon. Still a good day for Williams. Both cars in the top six. Then Arvid Lindblad in seventh, Schumacher in eighth, Doohan ninth, Bearman in 10th to get two HiTechs in the top 10. Gasly getting the final point from Max, unfortunately, at the end. Excuse me. Drugovich finishing in 13th. Tsunoda down in 14th, 15th for Lawson, 16th for Fornaroli, 17th for Sainz, 18th for Bortoletto, 19th for Hadjar, 20th for Mini. And then George and Teo both failing to finish after a lockup from Teo. Took out both himself and George. Teo will have a 5-second penalty applied to qualifying, which will be a 3-place drop going into the final Grand Prix of the season tomorrow at Kota. A glorious homecoming for us, as we will have both titles to share with the home crowd. So, in the driver standings then, confirmation that Max is the champion. 308 points to 280. The gap is 28 points. There's only 19 left available. So Max is now a 6-time world champion. Just 4 points between Oscar and Lando means the fight for second in the championship still very much alive. 19 points left. Can Norris do it? It's going to be very hard for Norris to overcome Oscar, but a little bit of luck here and there. You never know. George Russell is currently in pole position to finish fourth. He is 19 points ahead of Charles Leclerc, but it's honours even between those two. If Leclerc can get a Grand Slam in the final Grand Prix, he will take, potentially, fourth place away from George Russell. So we'll see what happens there. Antonelli is in 6th place. He is 13 points behind Leclerc, could overtake the former Ferrari driver. Albon is not going to be able to finish any better than 7th, but he will not finish any lower than 7th. 25 points ahead of Gasly. Lindblad on 77 points. Hadjar with 70. 62 points for Colapinto. Also 62 points for Sainz. He drops down into 12th. 60 points for Tsunoda. 57 for Porsche. Bearman up to 40 points. Been a disappointing season for Bearman this year. Then it's Doohan with 33, 31 for Schumacher, 23 for Lawson, 19 for Drugovich, 18 for Bortoletto, 17 for Mini, and Fornaroli still has just 4 points. So, into the constructors' standings. The gap between us and Ford is 224 points. Yeah, they're not catching us at all. Only 30 points left in the constructors' standings. So we are confirmed as champions and have been for a while. Ford are confirmed in 2nd place. McLaren are 29 points ahead of Honda with 30 remaining. So maybe Honda could steal it from McLaren, but it would take a spectacular fuck up from McLaren to not score a point. McLaren have more wins than Honda. How is that possible? Honda have 2 wins, Leclerc's got 3. Something doesn't track just there. Ferrari on 168 points cannot catch anybody. They're just 1 point ahead of Williams. It's going to be a neck and neck between those two. And both teams are in pretty good form right now. But you would have to say it might be advantage Williams with 2 cars currently a bit more competitive than the second Ferrari. Mick struggling still. Mercedes in 7th place on 119 points. Cannot finish any higher than that. They're just 2 points clear of HiTech. So 7th and 8th, both still up for grabs. Audi cannot finish any higher than 9th. Toyota could possibly catch them. And then Minardi confirmed pretty much, I think, to finish bottom. They're still potentially in the fight to get 9th place. But, I mean, they would need a miracle to get a 1-2. And Audi not to score any points. And they are 21 points behind Toyota as well. Right, pit stops. We did not get the fastest stop. But we ended up the 7th. Look how many 7 cars hit the perfect stop. Antonelli given the quickest stop ahead of the 2 Fords of Oscar and Gasly. Mercedes, Porsche, and then it's both the Williams ahead of us as well. So, yeah, we are doomed in this competition now. McLaren gets 8th place, 9th place for Audi, 10th for Schumacher. We weren't even close with Max's stops. Both of his stops over 2 seconds, so not even close. So, Mercedes, 20 points clear of Ford going into the final round with 30 points available. Is it 30 points? No, of course it's traditional scoring here, isn't it? So it's 43 points available. So it's still up for grabs for Ford, and just still up for grabs for Cadillac, for Williams as well. Best we can do now is stay where we are. We can't catch Williams. Best we can do now is 345 points. And we can't be caught by Ferrari. So we're confirmed in 4th place. But the top 3 positions still could change in a very dramatic way in the final round. Ferrari are confirmed in... No, not quite. They're almost confirmed in 5th place. They are 37 points clear of McLaren. Then TGR on 147, 110 for HiTech. Honda with 88, 80 points for Audi, and 13 points for Minardi. No bonus for Max. No top 10 or top 11 finish for Max, actually. Norris getting his target easily hit. 1.4 mil to add to the bank. Let's head back to HQ, prep for the finale, and then we'll check out those new liveries. All right, that suspension project is done. The side pod project is done. Ocon decreases by an overall rating point down to 82. And we have 5 days until the final Grand Prix on this save file. This is the last season. Yes, Joe. Once this is done, this save file will go away. We will potentially keep it in the background to maybe revive for an extra season at some point in the future. Who knows? But if anyone wants a copy of the save file, then once this season's done, I will send that to you if you ask for it. Let's see. We've got some emails to have a quick look at. So we know that Ocon's dipped slightly. Pointless smoothness gains for Stoffel. Joe picks up a point of control. Main drivers, no change to them. Did the cars come through unscathed? No, they did not. We lost side pods, 2 underfloors, and a rear wing. Okay. So let's fix the cars up for the next race, the final race of the season. Go. Right. A month before the end of the year. Let's get some last gasp research done. So let's get a chassis done. We want to increase cooling there. Let's take those down. Take that down a little bit more. There we go. 1 staff member on that. And let's do another underfloor project. No, let's do another suspension project. So that you guys have got a car with good tyre wear, hopefully. If you do take this on. And there we go. A little bit of extra boost there. Yeah, we'll be starting the 2026 series soon. We're waiting for the updated database to be re-released. And then we've already got the models and everything. So once everything's up and running and actually working properly again, then we'll get that series started. So we may just have extra 2013 races until then, each week. We'll see. Let's check in with the board. Board must be happy with the titles, but they were pissed about the result. Well, tough. I don't care. I don't care what the board thinks on that one. I'm happy. We are double world champions. And let's get the car sorted for the next Grand Prix. Let's go to team branding. And let me show you the livery for tomorrow's race. A very American-themed livery. Let me just hide the UI. There we go. So a little bit of a reworking of the sponsors. I won't let me rotate when I do the hide, will it? That's annoying. So we've got the American flag kind of design, blue with the white stars. We've got the yellow and white, red and white stripes. You can see they're also there on the side pod, which is quite nice. We've got a nice sort of little design on the rear wing with a little bit of space for a red Coca-Cola livery. We've changed the boss from white to black so it stands out and is visible. We changed the sponsors on the front wings colours slightly so they're visible, and we've angled the Coca-Cola to fit those white boxes quite nicely now. And changed the colour of the Santander from black to white, but I might go back to white on those, I don't know. I mean, it's red for that logo, so we'll probably keep it red. And we shrunk the size of the Cadillac down a little bit and shrunk the Coca-Cola a little bit to get it to fit between the stars. It looks better on that side than it does on the other one. There you can see it sits quite nicely between those two stars. So there we go. That is our car livery for our special one-off, American livery for an American team at an American Grand Prix to celebrate a double world championship. There we go. And I don't know if I'm going to change the overalls. I might leave them as they are. We shall see. I'll see how I feel later. Right. So, Foamy has done some livery work for us. So let's take a look at it. Oh, overtake is now back up. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, this is what made me laugh a little bit. So, he's done the McLaren livery, which looks quite nice. And it says, I said, is there no rear number on the car? I didn't realise McLaren weren't actually doing that this year. They have done in previous years. On the side, at the back, on the engine cover, they've had the driver number. It's not there this year. I didn't even notice. But he says here, McLaren don't use one. Well, they're not using one this year, but they have done in the past. And not only that, the livery that he's based his, or the car that he's based his livery on, does very blatantly have numbers on the side of the car. So I was a little surprised why that number was not on the side of the livery, seeing as it's part of this livery. But yeah, each to their own, I suppose. So yeah, overtake is back up. Nothing new in the last couple of days. Let's find Foamy's videos. Here it is. So we've got the Brabham Martini from the 70s. I'm trying to remember which year that is. 77 maybe? 76? I'm not sure if that's the fan car or the year before the fan car. Oh my god! Kopasuka, that's Fittipaldi. That's Fittipaldi's team. Jesus. Fonmetal. Wow. That is... what year is that? Is that 1989, 1990? Something like that? Yes, Foamy's made these. These should be up on, obviously, the JPS. Is that 84? That particular livery? JPS Lotus. The classic West McLaren from the late 90s through to the early noughties. The 1990 Camel Lotus, one of my favourites. That's my car, the Ferrari 641. Beautiful car. The only car that is actually officially a work of art in the Museum of Modern Art. Such a clean livery. And then you would have the driver's name there. So it would either be Prost and Mansell in 89 and 90 or Prost and Lacey in 91. The classic Leighton House. Ah, what a great looking car that is. That's a classic livery. Very early 90s, that one. And then we've got the Williams, the FW, it's either the 14 or the 15, depending on which year he's done the sponsors on. It might be the 15. The 1991 7-Up Jordan. The car that Schumacher debuted in. Oh, those look awesome. I can't wait. Can't wait to stick those on. Thank you, Foamy. They look absolutely fantastic. Right. After that, what have we got to do? A little bit left. Just a little bit left to do. So, yeah, that car does look nice, doesn't it? Change the wheels as well. So we've got the dots around the edge. Right. Facilities. Let's have a look. We need the factory to get refurbed. That's going to cost a lot of money, but that will get it refurbed just past the start of the new year, which is fine because it won't need to be used until beginning of February. Everything else here is good. Check. Yeah, those are all in excellent shape for the next season. Memorabilia room needs a quick refurb. There we go. Hospitality's okay. Everything else here is okay. Good stuff. Moving on one more day. Ryo Hirakawa drops to a 72 overall. What teams are in my games and what are the regs like? The teams, well, we because it's the final couple of races of the final season, we stuck a few older liveries on. But the teams are Cadillac, Ford, McLaren, Honda, although we're currently racing them under the Jordan Honda guys for the last couple of Grand Prix. Ferrari, BMW Williams, currently running with the Rothmans livery from 94 onwards. Again, just for the last few races. Mercedes, HiTech instead of Alpine, and we're currently running those with the 2006 Renault livery. Audi and TGR instead of Haas. Those are the teams. And Minardi instead of Toro Rosso / VCarb / AlphaTauri / actually originally Minardi. So they've gone back to their roots. So those are the teams. In terms of regs, got custom points, so it is easier to actually just show you those. So these are the points allocations. So points for the top 11 places, 17 for a win, 13 for second, 10 for third. So the winner gets a 4-point gap to second, second gets a 3-point gap to third, third gets a 2-point gap to fourth, and then everyone just gets a 1-point gap after that, down to 11th place. And then there's a bonus point for the fastest lap and a bonus point for pole position as well. So 19 points available to each driver every weekend, plus 8 points on a sprint if there is a sprint as well. So staff changes. Car delay secured until the end of next season. Same for Ian Gregg. Same for Javi. Mark Slade tied up till the end of 2034, along with Will Courtney. So there's 3 more seasons for those two. But if anyone does take this file over and wants to run it themselves, you will have 1, 2, 3 positions there that you can replace with a new member of staff at the end of next season. Driver changes. Max secured for 2 more years. Norris out of contract next season. So up to you whether you want to re-sign him or not. But Ugo has been looking very, very good. Back-to-back F3 and F2 champion. So he is now primed and ready to take an F1 race seat. So maybe it might be worth replacing Norris with Ugo at the end of next season. Right, let's get the pit crew training done for the final month of the year. One last time on this file, we'll get some pit crew stuff done. Fatigue is nice and low at the start, so we're going to go into heavy speed training. Get away with the morning here? No. So there we go, and then we'll go into Kota for the finale tomorrow. We'll come out of that, we'll do some car building for a couple of days, and then we'll start doing a little bit of split training. Go. Let's get some more car building done. We'll use this month to really catch up on some of the car building that we've ignored at times this year. There we go. And then we'll do some more splits. Building. And then we'll give them Christmas Day off because, as I always say, I'm not a complete monster. But we'll make them get back to work first thing on Boxing Day. And we'll make them work on the 28th as well for having that extra day off. There we go. So that is the training to take us to the end of the year. The team will end up with a 3.59% chance of a mistake, a 1.864 estimated stop time. Car building will be up to the same standard as the rest, and then obviously see what happens with what they get up to on New Year's Eve. See how much they lose as a result for next year. Let's take a look. Let's open up the F1 standings again. Let's go to teams. No, not teams. It's not calendar. It's not attributes. Contracts. Here we go. Lineups. This is what we want to see. So these are the current grids. Let's see what changes are in store for anyone who takes us over next year in terms of driver lineups. George is going to partner up with Leclerc at Honda. Logan Sargent's back, and so's Freddie Vesti. Wow, they're getting rid of both Mini and Fornaroli. Bortoletto's going back to McLaren again. Antonelli and Schumacher staying there. Lawson and Drugovich staying there. Mini is getting a move to Audi to replace Bortoletto. No change for Williams. No change for Alpine. No change for Mercedes. No change for Cadillac. No change for Ford. So, yeah, the big shock basically is that we're saying goodbye. Let's see, George is moving there. Gasly is still there. So who else is dropping off the grid? Hadjar is moving to the number 1 seat to replace George because George is going. Oh, Yuki's off the grid. That's who's not on the grid. Yuki Tsunoda's not on the grid next year. I was trying to work out who was missing. It's Yuki because we've got 2 returners next season. Logan Sargent and Freddie Vesti returning to partner up at Minardi. Mini moving across to Audi. Fornaroli losing his drive altogether, not on the grid next year, and neither is Yuki Tsunoda, who's been sacrificed to bring George Russell over to Honda to partner up with Charles Leclerc. That is a very interesting lineup. Okay. Right. Well, that is it for tonight. So, I hope you have enjoyed the season so far. The championships are now both done and dusted. There is still a fight, though, in the standings for second place between Norris and Oscar. Just 4 points separate the two. It's a homecoming, and a glorious homecoming for Cadillac, going back to COTA for the final race of the season as double world champions for a victory lap and a parade. I do hope that we can get Norris into second as well and make it a 1-2 in the driver's standings to go with Max, his title, and the Constructors' Championship. That would be a dream wrap-up to this series, but you never know. Oscar has had more pace than Norris most of this season, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll see you there for that. We'll be back at the usual time tomorrow, 8 p.m. here in the UK, for the final round of this championship, the final round of this series. And then next week we'll be back on our F1 2013 mod. So hopefully I will see you there for that. If you have enjoyed today's race and you haven't already done so, a thumbs up, always appreciated. If you haven't yet subscribed, why not consider hitting that subscribe button as well, and click on that bell for notifications to make sure you're notified about live stream starts. And until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.